All right, it's a new day in the dirty kitchen. We got a meeting today, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, who are we meeting with? Okay, well, we're gonna do a little meeting prep for you guys. While we're doing that, I'm gonna set this up here while we get the Instagram live going. All right, and like always, I think we're gonna live our quote of the day.
What's that?
We're gonna do Instagram live with our quote of the day, like we did yesterday.
Okay.
You have something in your mind about what you're gonna say?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna start it then in 5, 4, 3, 2. All right, guys, joining in. Thanks for joining us again. It's gonna be another Alpha Graphics quote of the day, and this one's gonna be coming from Mr. Marcus Beverly. And what do you got for us today?
All right, I got a quote from Andrew Carnegie. There is little success where there is little laughter.
Ah, okay, so explain what that means to you.
So with that being said, I believe that if you don't have fun doing whatever it is that you do, then you're not going to be very successful. So if you're in an environment where there's no laughter, everything is too serious, then you're really not going to want to be as successful as you possibly can. So that's why you always try to joke, laugh, work hard, play harder mentality.
Sounds good. So keep it light today. Keep your pitches tight and get some sales. We're gonna do the same thing. Got a big meeting today.
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Some prep for that right now, and we're just gonna add value to them any way we can.
Bye.
And that in turn is gonna help everybody, us and them included. So guys, thanks for watching as always. And our quote of the day, one more time: there is little success where there is little laughter. And if you guys don't know who Andrew Carnegie is, you should definitely check him out because he's a pretty interesting guy, and he developed the whole steel industry in America. So check out Andrew Carnegie for some cool U.S. history and some inspiring stories. Thanks for watching. I love Andrew Carnegie.
You love him?
I have his biography. Have you ever studied him at all?
No, but I've read about him in Think and Grow Rich.
Okay.
If he mentions
Oh
him.
yeah, that's it. He was the guy who hired Napoleon Hill to write that book. He was the one who was.
Well, I know it's Napoleon Hill's book. I didn't know it was Andrew Carnegie's.
I'm sure it says it in the book.
Well, I know
He hired Napoleon Hill. I'm not supposed to get that. He hired Napoleon Hill to put that philosophy on paper.
Ah, okay.
So he hired Napoleon, and he hooked him up with all of the people that he interviewed because he knew everybody. And so basically he wanted it to be put on the paper. And so he set up all the meetings, and Napoleon Hill went around to all the people and got their success formulas and put it into the book Think and Grow Rich. So it was really his idea. And he wanted to have a book with everybody's the path to success in it. So that's interesting. And then yes, he came over from Scotland, and he got into the steel industry and completely changed the game, and was one of the founding industrialists of America, and kind of helped create steel and build New York and all that stuff. And became one of the most wealthy people in the world in the process. So a very interesting guy.
It's like him and then the Rockefellers.
Yep, he was with the Rockefellers and the Morgans, and super interesting. If you ever watched The Men Who Built America.
No, but I was told about that show.
You would love it.
Yeah.
It's all about business and how they started with nothing and built empires individually and completely different industries. So that's really cool. YouTube. Check out The Men Who Built America. I think it's free on YouTube if you watch it. It's from the History Channel. Okay, so what I wanted to do is there's not necessarily a sales meeting, but I want to do a sales prep for your meeting. So tell me about the company that you're meeting with today, and maybe just for the camera, give us a little insight as to how you got this meeting set up.
Okay. Well, Middleman, they're a construction company.
Okay.
They're not they're a decent sized company that I've seen. And how I got them was I went through Google and just typed in construction companies and picked them out the lot.
That was your target market for the day you're focusing on?
Exactly.
Okay.
So I got the marketing manager's information, and I went over there, dropped a bag off,
Okay.
and then she emailed me. Or no, I emailed her saying like, hey, I dropped the bag off.
So you followed up with her?
And then she emailed me back saying, oh, thank you, I, really needed it. And she actually proposed that we set up a sit-down meeting.
Cool. Okay, so you've already had the bag drop, you did a follow-up email, she emailed you back, and then you set up a meeting. So you've already had 4 touches?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so that's just shows where we need to do the 12 to 15 before we actually get a sale, so that's good. Now, do you know anything about what they want or what their needs are?
I do not.
So this is more going to be a fact-finding
Mhm.
mission? Okay, so I think what we'll do, we should give you the notebook again, because I think it looks good. And we're just going to focus on getting all the details that you can get,
Mm-hmm.
what they're currently having printed, what they like and don't like, what they need immediately, and what they might need in the future. And then if you can find a way to slip in maybe that DOS question, which was the dangers, opportunities, and strengths, and how we can use our business to help them eliminate the dangers, take advantage of the opportunities, and build out their strengths through their marketing, through printing, through advertising.
Okay.
Something as simple as you might see a car out in the parking lot or their work truck, and maybe it's got a decal that's either falling off or they don't have anything on it at all. Say, hey, I know you guys have your work trucks out there all day. For super low cost, we can design it, put it on there, and you're going to have 24-hour advertising every time your truck's out on the road. So just taking advantage of having those company vehicles, put your logo on there, and then you've got a driving billboard driving around.
Could you just tell me which tracking number I would give her? Just always the
No.
top one, even though this
No,
one's
no, no.
different?
Oh, there's 2.
Yeah, and it's this one.
Oh, because we sent 2 different boxes, so you're going to have to give her both?
Both.
And they're going to come separately.
Okay.
So yeah, anything just using your awareness, what you see. If they have what is their office like? You were in there. What does it look like?
Like a typical, like it's in an industrial like parkway.
They have their own office.
They have their own. Well, they're not. They have their own building, but it's like an industrial park. And they didn't. When I went there, it was like the receptionist desk.
Okay.
And then it like just went into like the like their office.
Okay. Do they have a sign out front?
Yes.
Okay, so they
more
have
of like like the frosted vinyl.
Okay.
Well,
But do they actually have a physical sign, like in the yard or at the entrance?
No.
Okay, because that might be something
No.
simple to suggest. We get a couple metal poles, put them in the ground, put a 2-sided sign on there. How about when you walk in, does it look nice, or is it kind of...
It's kind of very, very bland.
Okay, because you could suggest maybe behind the receptionist desk, if they have maybe if they don't have people coming in and out, it doesn't really matter. But if they do have clients coming in to meet with them, you could suggest a simple graphic behind the receptionist desk. We could do just a vinyl, like ours,
Mhm.
or we could do something real fancy like the standoff letters. Maybe you want to make some notes?
Yeah.
If you have them. Actually, why don't I go grab you that yellow pad? And
Okay.
you can take it in with you. Here's an important tip. Always be fully prepared before you go into any selling situation, because the more you're prepared and the more you have things that you're already, like we're doing now, you're thinking about it before you go in there, so you're not going to have to try and think about it while you're sitting there trying to listen to them and talk to them. Anything you can do to pre-prepare is going to make it easier for you,
Mhm.
and then it's going to make you look more professional, because you're going to have stuff to say and you're going to know what you're talking about, and then that's going to help us gain that altitude and the trust, which all leads into the sales. So let's put down on there what we've talked about. So we want to consider anything that you see, like maybe trucks or signs or office decor, anything that is something we do, but it maybe looks like it's in bad shape, that we could refresh for them or update. So maybe they have maybe they have that frosted vinyl, but it's missing a letter, or it's peeling off on the edge or something like that. So anything you see that you're like, oh, I know we do that, and that looks bad, we can say it nicely and say maybe we should refresh that, something like that. I think we're gonna put together some sample materials for you before you go, and you don't necessarily have to show them to them, but it'll be nice to have. Maybe we'll do some different business cards. We'll put in our trifold, even though they already have it. And we can, did you grab their business cards while you were in the office doing the bag drop?
I don't think so. I don't even know if they. No, you know what, I did.
Okay. They may, maybe they don't even have any, who knows?
I don't recall seeing any, but then again, I don't remember asking the.
Okay, well, we can ask them, how do they get people to know who they are? Okay, so how do they market? Do they do trade shows? Do they do industry events? Do they sponsor a golf tournament once a year? Anything like that. How do they get known, and how can we help them get known? And again, you don't have to say all this, but it's just nice to have some points if it kind of gets awkward or quiet. You can say, oh, well, by the way, how do you guys market yourselves? Do you guys do like any advertising? Do you do any golf tournament sponsorships? Do you guys do trade shows?
I've never seen them around, but they're, like I said, they're not a small.
Yeah, so they have to get known somehow. Okay, so something like that. But yeah, when I go in there, I just want to kind of figure out what they have an immediate need for, and what they may need in the future. And then you can just write down in your notes the DOS questions, so dangers, opportunities, and strengths. You don't have to necessarily ask them those 3 words, but you can kind of understand what those might be for them and how we can help using our services.
So dangers.
Yep, opportunities. And strengths. So maybe they're dangers, maybe they're having a slow year and their budget is tight, and you say, hey, you know what? We don't normally like to sell ourselves as the budget printer, but if that's what you guys need right now, I'd be happy to review what you're currently paying for all of your print items and see how we can't go about saving you some money. That's just an example. If they have a danger, she's like, oh no, we don't have much money in our marketing budget this year. Oh, well, what are you doing right now for marketing? Maybe I can look at what your current rates are, and see how maybe we can either keep them the same but do more for you, or maybe we can actually do more for you and give you a little better deal at the same time. Or under that you can say, so do you have any events coming up that you guys are attending? Oh yeah, well, actually we're sending our CEO is going to a conference where we usually get some business out of the ball. You say, hey, does the CEO maybe want some Spot UV business cards, only $79? We can give you guys your beautiful set for your big guys going out to this conference, and they're going to look great, and people are going to remember who they are. Maybe we can put a QR code on there so it goes straight to their website when they hand out the cards to the guys. So that'd be an opportunity. And then the strengths, like you said, maybe they have 10 working vehicles that are out on the road all the time. So they're always doing work, but what can we do to help them strengthen having those vehicles? That we can put a vehicle wrap, a simple door magnet. We can make them maybe a banner that they take from job site to job site and hang it up while they're working so people know who they are. Stuff like that. So strengthen the fact that they're already all over the city. How can they get noticed while they're doing the work out there? So that's all good stuff. And then just details. So anything you can get from her,
from them, yeah.
Any details that you can just gather up and bring back is going to help them.
I found this one more so like on I can't remember what it was, Antonio. He's a sales guy.
Okay.
Talked about when someone tells you, what was it? Oh, the let me think about it response.
Okay.
And it says, when somebody tells me let me think about it, they're either not interested or they're interested but they're not sure.
Okay, so the confidence is low.
Yeah,
Okay.
and he's like, he said, usually 90% of the time they say they're interested, but they're not sure. It's like when somebody tells you they're interested but not sure, it's for 3 reasons. It's fit, functionality, and the finances.
Okay.
Like, is this product a good fit for you?
Mm-hmm.
You know, is it what you need? You know, is it the functionality of the product? You know, is it
Do what you need.
does it do what you need, or is it the money
Price.
the money price? You know, so.
Mhm.
I'm gonna try to implement that whenever somebody tells me, well, let me think about it.
Okay, the 3 Fs. What is it? What's wrong? So why don't you want to do the deal? Is there something wrong with how it might fit with your company? Do you think it might not do what you needed or what you wanted to do?
Functionality.
Or maybe it's a problem with the price and we could explore a different option that might be a little cheaper for you. Those are all good. Okay, I like that. And then, yeah, so I just want you to have some notes, what you got now, so let's go ahead and put together some samples to bring with you.
Should I bring Nobles?
That'd be great. Say, yeah, hey, so look, we just did this for another construction company. They needed a new look. So we thought we'd give them a nice, new, modern, fresh look, and they absolutely loved it. And we'd love to do something like that for you guys if you want to do an update. We can even use their same logo if they love their logo, and we can just update the cars and make them look cool and modern like Nobles do, right? So that would be cool. So we'll bring those. Let's bring some, let's think construction. What do they need? They need signs, all types of signs and decals and stuff like that.
What are those signs that were? Because these are the ones that I see the most. Are like those ones where they wrap them around like the big fences that they keep people out, but they're those signs where they're like the mesh.
The mesh banner.
Yes.
Yep, so we do that, and that's just called a mesh banner.
Okay.
Maybe what you could do is take that substrate sample booklet, and remember the one I showed you where it's got all the different materials that we print on in the sign room?
Mm-hmm.
You could take that with you and just say, hey, I know you guys might need those mesh banners, and you can open up to it and say like this right here, and you can let them see it. Oh yeah, actually, we don't have any of those. Maybe we should get one of those for our events. We're working on a project right now on I-35 and nobody knows it's us. Something like that. So we could definitely bring the substrate booklet, would be good. They probably don't do anything like mailing, I wouldn't think, because it's probably not really their industry.
Yeah. Unless they're trying to like, oh yeah.
Always gotta have a card. You can stick a couple of yours in there.
I'm gonna give me. Where'd you get this at?
I got
Office
it from,
Max?
no, I got it from, my wife had it from when she was doing stuff, so I took it from her. So I don't know where she got that, but probably any office store, yeah.
Oh, you've already tried to get Broadway Bank?
No, that was some other thing. It wasn't a sales call. It was something I was trying to do with them. So no, I have not.
All right. Well, I got their marketing person's information.
Okay.
Is this their marketing person?
No, that was someone else.
Oh, that's.
The mortgage guy.
Oh,
Yeah.
never mind.
No. Yeah, no, these are nice though because it fits my iPad in there. A calculator I don't use, but they're good. But yeah, so construction, signs, banners, decals. Probably they might need invoices, like 2-part, 3-part NCRs. They might do work reports, anything like that where they write down what they did for the day so they can give it to the client and say, hey, here's what we did, or here's our work report. They probably need order forms for all of the construction supplies. So hey, we need to get 3 pieces of lumber, 10 beams of steel, things like that. And they may do, I know we work with a couple people that stock their own products in their warehouse, so they need inventory sheets and tags that they put on all of their pieces. Anything like that. Industrial. Just think, what do you see when you go to Lowe's, and what do you see when you go to What are all those guys doing? So, those are all types of stuff that we can do for them. And I guarantee you that whoever's printing their NCRs, they probably just call them every 6 months and get them ordered. Or maybe they even get lame ones from Office Depot and they're generic. You can say, hey, I know you guys use these generic ones now, but for an extra $30 we can put one with your own logo and information on it. Stuff like that. All right, so let's go gather some materials to put together.